So just kind of moving on, coming near. I actually thought this was quite interesting, to be honest. In round one of this match, Vince Tracey, kind of that calm, cool, collected guy, confident, but also, a little bit cocky at the same time. Great slap on Vince this year. Didn't stumble Dominik whatsoever. But land on the chin. Dominik has had his chin quite high, giving Vince a very wide target to hit. Very interesting style on that aspect. So now Dominik's turn to come up. We've got a right on 3 for Dominik. Let's see what Vince Tracey has. Vince looking down, which I think is interesting. Not into his eyes, but he's looking more towards his chest. Very focused in on himself and not what Dominik is doing. Hits him square on the jaw on that one. Stumbles Vince back. See Austin going crazy, but the ref counting him in. He's looking good at this point. Doesn't look to be too wobbled. Ref allows him to continue. Vince, fellow Canadian. I know I'm biased on that front, but closed his eyes at the last minute. They're interesting. I was just saying before, I didn't think he was really looking at what Dominik was doing too much, but out of the corner of his eye, closed it up. Dominik talking a lot of trash. See Dominik's chin's up, raised again, which I think is quite interesting. He's holding up quite high, giving Vince a really good target to hit upon. So right on 3, hits him, wobbles him. He's down that time. Gets back up real fast, though, however. All right. Going through it right now. I'm going to see. Vince, my man, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear you, Vince. Sorry, man.
Right on.
I started the fight without you, man. We're in round 2. You just sat down Dominik.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I kind of screwed up round 1 there, both on my defense and offense. I'm sure everybody already commented on that, but we put him on some skates there, though.
Yeah, a couple of things, man. His chin is really high. I think he's squaring up his chin to give you a really, really big target. I haven't seen that before. Yeah,
he was definitely, I call it hanging. Definitely hanging that chin over that table pretty deep. Yeah, for sure.
Talk to me about this. You're looking down at his chest. You're not looking into his eyes. It doesn't look like anything else is really, taking your focus away.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching his shoulder, watching like the movement for it to come in. Definitely had a lot better timing on that. The second strike there, and obviously it was a lot low, but you can get hit in the neck and get knocked out pretty good too. So
totally. So he gets called for a clubbing on that one. Kind of a late call club. It almost looks like he missed you more than anything.
Yeah, well, actually, that one gave me more of a bruise than the first shot did. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I had more of a bruise along my neck and swelling on the neck than on the face. So
gotcha.
I don't know if I'm just built different or what, but
yeah,
first one definitely hurt more, I would say.
Yeah. Going into this third round, obviously with the foul to Dominik, you must be feeling good. Thinking if you get a clean strike, that you'll be up on the card.
Yeah, we just had to lock it in and find it, and I think that was probably the worst. He hung it out there, and I made him pay for it for sure.
Yeah, you sit him down on that one. You hear Dana. I'm sure you couldn't hear Dana up there, but had some really good words for you watching the show back.
Oh yeah, I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool from a legend like that.
100%. The accumulation of damage, obviously you come out victorious in this one. Great to see you representing for Canada, my man. There's a ton
that's
of
another Canadian. I was just going to say that's another Canadian in the books here, and we still got another Canadian to go. So yeah, we're making waves. We're definitely coming up in the scene, and the support has been tremendous. It's really been a blessing. I thought, a lot of speculation and other things, but now it's kind of changed, and it's people are starting to understand the sport a lot more, and especially when you break it down to them and like they start asking questions and start kind of picking your brain, and it's like, oh, there is actually stuff to this. It's not just guys swinging at each other, and it's not like a bar thing, you know what I mean, or something like that. So we're starting to get more respect, and the sport's going like crazy, which I can't believe. It's incredible.
Yeah, I want to say, man, I feel like you reached out to me over a year ago. I've known about you for a very, very long time. I know you've been trying to get on the Power Slap. We've had a lot of combos back channel. Honestly, dude, I'm really happy for you that you made it here.
Appreciate that.
You made it onto the show. You had a phenomenal debut. I mean, how good does it feel to actually see yourself up there? Because I know you've gone through a lot for your family. I know your wife has made sacrifices as well for you to be able to do this. How good does it feel?
It feels incredible. It was funny because we were talking about it earlier, and at the house, you didn't really get that time to really like enjoy the high of a win. Like normally you have a couple weeks where you get some downtime, and you know what I mean, you get to eat whatever you want and kind of like, you know what I mean, really enjoy yourself. But it was straight into like kill mode. It was, you know what I mean? So it was a lot different. And again, we didn't have our families or phones or anything, so no one knew, and we couldn't really express it with anybody. So it was a crazy experience. I definitely have a lot of respect for the guys that went through season 1 and 2 and all the tough seasons and all that stuff. It's a lot different when you're actually in the scenario of it all. So yeah, it absolutely incredible. And we really got to enjoy it tonight. And, you know, you can only say so much to the wife until you actually see it, you know what I mean? Then it's like, it becomes more real. And, you know, she was pretty overwhelmed and pretty happy with everything. And, so yeah, no, it's incredible. I'm really enjoying the moment.
Awesome, man. I mean, it's great to see you're here, your debut, you're part of the family now. Let's talk a little bit about the match. In that round, we heard Austin screaming at the catcher to not catch you. Do you think you would have fallen if the catcher wouldn't have braced you?
Honestly, he kind of caught me, and that's when I kind of like jumped up, and then I kind of did a little spin, and then we kind of got tangled up in each other more or less. So I think it made it look a little worse than what it was, because I was fully had my wits about me. I even looked at Mark Smith, and I was like, "What are you counting for?" I'm like, "I didn't even fall or nothing like that." And he's like, "Oh, it's just because, you know, how you were." He's like, "Are you good?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then, you know, it was good to go. But in my mind, I was like, "Oh, just make it look good. Like, don't make it look like, you know, he stunned you or wobbled you. Just go to the table, you know, get your wits about you." So I was kind of running that in my head, and maybe my feet were getting too far ahead of myself, and that's what got kind of tangled up with the catcher and stuff like that. But yeah, hilarious hearing Terp in the corner, let him fall, and I'm like, I really don't think I would have fallen, but I mean, everybody's gonna have their opinion, right? So
yeah, 100%. Were you actually surprised or impressed by Dominik's toughness after what we've seen of him and Joe Landman?
Yeah, absolutely. I was a little bit overconfident, I think, because I watched a lot of tape on that. So I knew what to kind of expect from Dom. But again, you get up there and he's evolved and he's changed a lot. So, you know, again, it was a little bit different, but at the same time, I was definitely prepared. And I think the jitters kind of got to me a little bit too, you know, the big lights, big stage, you know, you got some of the biggest names, you know, sitting there in the crowd. Definitely it plays on you a little bit, right? So I just had to get that under control, and I felt like I definitely grew and got stronger as the fight went on, and I was a lot more locked in and able to focus in on what I needed to do, and not so much on what was going on around me. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I can hear you, my man. I mean, you know, being in that environment, you know, Dana talks about the cream rise to the top. You know, it just seems that, you know, talent that can withstand that type of pressure cooker can move on. You know, talk to me about that experience, being there at the house, being with the other guys, the competitiveness, the testosterone, the egos, all that stuff.
Oh, it was all there and present for sure. And I mean, like there was even a little bit of a flu bug that went around. So I mean, we had a little bit of everything, and I'm sure in the second half we're going to see it. I know a lot of the fans have been, you know, saying, "No, it was having a lot of house stuff." But I think there's just because there's been so many fights in round one, that round two you'll see a lot more of this house stuff. And trust me, they wouldn't put it in the promo if they're not going to show that kind of stuff. So it's definitely coming, guys. But yeah, no, it was incredible, because like even when we landed in Vegas, we're all like sizing each other up, like, you know what I mean, like we were all doing it, we're all, you know what I mean, like getting a feel for who's who kind of thing, you know what I mean, like who's got experience, who was kind of like off the couch more or less, I guess you could say. But for the most part, it was quite the talent pool, like, and like I heard some numbers about how many people applied, and like it was pretty incredible even just to be picked on the show, let alone to be picked to be in the house as well. And you know what I mean? So I was truly grateful for everything. And yeah, it felt like the work that I had put in for the year and a bit had all kind of led up to this point and paid off, you know, ultimately.
Awesome, my man. Appreciate it, dude. I mean, I love hearing that insight, the psyche, everything around it. Talk to me about Robert Trujillo. How much credit do you want to give him in this performance?
Oh, dude's awesome. You know, like I had a lot of people on the roster help me kind of hone in my technique and form, you know, even before the show. But Robert like fine tuned it to a T. You know what I mean? It was just me up there that needed to lock in. And honestly, I think I could have got the job done sooner, but hindsight's 2020, and it's your first fight. You know what I mean? I think we're entitled to make a few mistakes here and there, and it's all a learning curve. So it was awesome, but having Robert like on our team and on our side, night and day. You know what I mean? Like just the amount of experience and the knowledge of the game and just everything he brought. Honestly, even the trainings that he was teaching us and stuff to take home, like it was all awesome. It was all incredible. And yeah, dude's a legend. You know what I mean? Future Hall of Famer, the whole 9 yards. I have no doubt about any of that. But he's going to have some tough lightweights coming up to actually get some matches. So I'm excited to see him back soon and back on stage. And hopefully we get a belt for these lightweights because I know they've been itching for it.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, hopefully we see it sooner than later. I mean, we've seen we got some great lightweights there. We've seen we got some new talent coming in the welterweight as well. So, man, I appreciate you joining me.
Yeah.
And keep up the good work, my man. We'll see you down around 2.
All right. Awesome. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Take care, Vince. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Get after it, guys.